Hey, Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today to celebrate Crafty Meggy's 5-year YouTube-iversary. That is her layout that I am going to scrap lift, and this is my take on her layout there. So I did it a little bit differently. Meggy used squares, and I decided that I was going to use so this video is also a Tuesday morning stash bash for me. So I am using the Good Vibes collection by My Mind's Eye by the awesome Jen Allison. And I am also using these dies that are from Spellbinders that I got from Tuesday morning. So Meggy's layout is actually also a scrap lift, and she scrap lifted Inky Quill or Adele. And I decided that I was going to go more, I'm going to keep the 2 vertical columns and I'm going to use a square photo, but I didn't like the photo where Meggy had hers, so I moved mine up, which fit perfectly in that longer rectangular block. And yeah, so that's what I did. My layout is also going to have the title running vertically, horizontally up and down the page, instead of going across at the bottom there. I felt like it just kept the line of the layout much better. And so what I've done is I've got the 6x6 paper pad for Good Vibes, as well as the collection pack. And so I chose 6x6 pattern papers that I was going to cut the different squares and or rectangles out of, and so I'm going to spend a long time building those layers for the layout. As you can see there, I actually have this photo in 2 different sizes. Originally I thought that I wanted it to be slightly bigger, but when I used the bigger photo, and you'll see it later in the video, it ruins the proportion of the video. So when I cut these tags with the die, they are layered tags, and so I didn't adhere all of the tag down so that it does create some dimension in the layout there. I am going to apologize for my voice. I have had a terrible cold for the past 3 days now, and it is finally going away, but I'm going to be left with this froggy voice for some time, and I need to get these videos voiced over, so you've got to live with that. Sorry about that. So I'm going to use this, that piece that I cut. I could have measured it, but rather than measuring it, I'm just going to keep using the same piece of paper over and over again for a template of the size of these various different bits and pieces. And actually, to be completely honest, I completely wing it because I do. That's just kind of the way I ramble. I rumble. I do ramble too. And I'm going to change my mind on the paper layers that I originally chose, which is fine, because I actually end up, because Meggy had 6 sets in her layout, I actually end up adding a 7th set to my layout. So some are squares, some are rectangles, some are tags facing the same direction, and then you have the one tag that is off. And I just like the way that the movement of the tags creates some movement in the layout there. So this is another one of the this is going to be the horizontal tag that I end up using. The problem is that that blue piece, that blue grid piece was supposed to be the backing, but I made a mistake, or it was supposed to be the front of the tag. I wanted the tag shape to be in those stripes, so I run it through again just to get that straight line, which was fine because I knew that I wasn't going to use the tag end of it, and I was just going to have that be off that edge of the page there. I toyed with the idea of actually having the tag run over to the edge of the page, but then it ruined that white line, and from a design standpoint, that just wasn't going to work for me. So again, this takes a really long time to put this all together, so I apologize for the length of the video, but the time is really spent trying to get all of it symmetrical and coordinated. So there's that extra square that I end up adding there, and those are like kapow kind of bubbles, and they're not bubbles, they're kapow sort of stars, and I had cut a piece to go, this piece here, to go inside it, but you can't really, you see when I put it there, you can't really delineate what it is. So it really needed just a white cardstock, which I will go and get as I put the layout together later, and it looks significantly better with just the white cardstock. So at this point, I have all the bits and pieces, and I'm just going to adhere everything down. I am going to use my ruler so that I have symmetrical borders between each of the spaces, and that will then allow me to figure out the bottom of the page, which I will just crop off the extra and the excess that ends up down there of that long rectangle there, which ends up becoming actually a very short rectangle, which is perfectly fine. Some of these squares are going to have journaling in them. Some of them are going to just have embellishments in them. I have just the embellishments that came with the paper pack, and so it's actually the stickers, so I'm going to use those. I am going to throw in some labels from Ellie's Studio and a few other bits and pieces from a recent Illustrated Faith haul that I shared recently from Tuesday morning as well. So the title of this layout ends up being warm-ups. This picture was of my daughter during warm-ups for a recent swim meet that she had. So while the title is warm-ups, the journaling is actually about her entry time and the one event that she swam and how she had a really nice time drop. Typically my swimming layouts tend to be blue and red because those are our team colors. So it was really nice to be able to do something a little bit different by incorporating, there is blue and red in this, but I was also able to incorporate the different colors that are in this Good Vibes collection. So that was nice. So here I am playing with the photo. I actually thought that maybe I might put the photo slightly differently than the way Meggy did and put it in that red square there, but then it knocked out journaling space. So here I am trimming down the larger 4x4 photo, and it would have worked in that top rectangle there, which is where I end up putting the smaller photo, but then that hides all the rest of the pattern paper and the other fun work that I just did putting it all together. So I'm going to go with that smaller photo. It just ends up working better. So this is where I trim off all the excess, and there is the foundation of the layout. It's just time to add the photo, the title, and some embellishments. I do end up doing the journaling off camera. See, there's that larger photo, and it just looks disproportional to the rest of the layout, and it just, not going to work. Not going to work. So that's why I go with the smaller one. And it could have gone over that red square there, but I wanted to leave the proportions of some of these things, and it was the only square, so that is why I did not cover that red square. I'm going to put some Scotch foam behind some of the embellishments. Again, I like to mention on my layouts, those of you who know me know that, and I love the rose gold that is in this collection. It's kind of more of a pinky rose gold, really. Pink, a metallic pink, and so this is where I get that white cardstock that I was referring to earlier, and I am going to doodle double lines around it just so that there is that delineation of that square, and it's actually not quite a true square, but that's okay. So I toyed with some of the different embellishments. I really liked that pennant, or the cup, the number 1 cup right there, but she was not number 1. although she's our #1 swimmer. But there was something about the yellow that just didn't work for me. So I am going to end up putting that away. I did find some black and white twine to fit through one of the tag toppers there, and that just ties in the black that I'm going to put throughout the layout. So this is where I doodle on the outside there. Adhere that down, and then I'm going to, I think I've already got the foam on the back of that, which leaves me room to sort of put a subtitle there. It puts the name of the meet and the date and the event that she swam. I'm going to raise the picture up on some foam, again, just to add some dimension. I am going to tuck in a green tag to the right-hand side of that photo. It just pulls a little bit more green into the layout, and it minimizes that space. So see, I actually had a tag there. I just don't end up using that blue tag. I use it for something else, but I do end up sticking the tag where I'd originally showcased the tag that I end up using under the awesome ribbon there. So everything here is from Tuesday morning. This is a Tuesday morning stash bash other than these LA Studio. These are print and cut files from, I want to say, January. So yes, other than that, everything else is from Tuesday morning. And you can see those other Tuesday morning hauls throughout my channel. But they are, I do have bookmarks of those as well. Not bookmarks. I'm sorry, I'm having a really hard time processing today. I have, what are they? When you put a bunch of videos in a file, those things. Anyway. So this is also a celebration of Crafty Meggy's 5 years on YouTube. Woohoo! That's a big accomplishment. So this is a hop, so be sure to hop on over to the other gals that are participating in the hop. I will leave that list in the description box down below. And so those were letters from Bella Boulevard that also came from Tuesday morning, and then these are some other random goodies, most of it illustrated faith that also came from Tuesday morning as well. I am going to use that green thicker, which is not from Tuesday morning, but I figured that was okay because it was just that one little thicker that's there. That is from Hobby Lobby, I believe. So that, my friends, is my scrap lift of Crafty Meggy's layout, which I showed you in the beginning, to celebrate her 5 years on YouTube. Again, this is a hop, so be sure to join in and see what all the other gals have created. Each of us are scrap lifting Crafty Meggy. Enjoy the close-ups. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Take care. Come back again soon.